Well, I got love on my mind. I got love on my mind. I do. I do got love on my mind.
Yes, we both do.
And I promise you it's only coffee in this cup.
That's what she wants.
Why are you moving the camera?
Because I was like, way out here. I'm just trying to get it right.
Ay, ay, ay.
So, that's what we've been doing for 10 years. Just trying to keep it
Trying to
right.
get it right.
Get it right.
That's what we're trying to do. Just
Today
keep
we're
on.
celebrating 10 years
Whew.
in this
Man.
marriage game. And, God, it does not seem like 10 years.
Mm-mm.
It seemed more like 2. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, see, in some ways it seems like 2 years. But to me, in some ways, it seems like 10. It's like,
How so?
because of the amount of things that have been packed into 10 years of our marriage, right? Just like, it's like, how did we really do all of those things? You know, did we really go through all of those things? Did we really, overcome all of those things? You know, it's like,
yeah,
it's been 10 years.
Whole decade.
A whole decade.
Like, if you look at our picture when we got married and look at us now, we're like totally different people.
Mm-hmm.
And
we should insert
Yeah,
picture of us.
So,
Yeah. Are you sure we're recording in like the right mode and it's not like in fast frame or anything like that?
good point. Let's double check. Yeah, we should be good because it would give us the
Different time.
different time. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Good.
I just didn't want us to have like a
Yeah, we did.
long
as if
thing and then it.
Yeah, we did that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So, in these 10 years, what do you think has been the most resounding lesson that you have learned, or you still like working on, but you've kind of said, like, in terms of foundationally for marriage, in terms of talking to other couples, what do you think is like one of the number one lessons that have helped sustain our marriage thus far?
wow, that was a very loaded question.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad I asked you before you asked me, because then it gives me time to think.
Yeah. So don't judge me by my first answer because I haven't been given a chance to think
No
about
judgment.
it all. But
No judgment.
first thing with what you said, let me see if I can repeat the question and make sure I understand the question.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning how to listen. Listening is not just hearing, but getting the message that you are trying to get across. So, you want to know in the last 10 years.
Look at you. Where'd you learn that from?
I just heard it just like this morning. But see, that's the key. We never stop learning.
Yeah.
And I don't by any means claim to be an expert on this thing called marriage by any means. However, I am a student of marriage.
You probably need to talk louder, babe.
That's why I got a microphone, baby. See?
Okay.
I ain't got to talk louder because it amplifies my voice in the midst of all this ambient noise we got going on here. Because I foresee us being in this kind of environment. So that's why I made the investment in advance so that we'll be prepared for this such a time as this. Yes. This coffee's kicking in because caffeine make me feel good.
I feel good.
Back to the question though.
Baby, I feel good all over.
Sing it, baby. Go ahead.
You and I have what others dream about. You know, I've been lots of places, I've seen lots of things. I'm not gonna go there. Okay. Go ahead.
I forgot the question. Let me see if I can repeat it though. In the last 10 years,
what has been the most valuable lesson that you've learned, or that you're still kind of learning and working on, but you know that it's been kind of foundationally something that has helped to sustain our marriage?
I don't know if I can just isolate it to just one thing. I'll tell you the two things that are ringing in my brain.
If you got 4, 5, it's okay.
First, we always hear, we ask couples, what's the number one? What would you what advice would you give couples? Blah blah blah, and inevitably, one of them is always communication. We got tired of hearing communication. What the heck does that mean? Communication.
Yeah.
But that's what rings true to me as well. In my 10 years of experience is communication. It is specifically my ability to listen more than respond. I think so much so while listening to you, I am coming up with a response to what I think you're saying versus hearing you completely out and regurgitating what you state to me. Because I want to say 100% of the time, but a high percentage of the time, what I hear you saying is not what you're saying, or what I think you're saying is not what you're saying. And so my response inevitably is not appropriate to what you're saying. So that's what I've learned, and I thought I've learned, and it's something I keep relearning, is how much listening plays a role in communication, how important that is in such an intimate relationship as a marriage. One of the ways that as human beings we feel loved is by being listened to and being understood. Really is what it is to feel like you being understood makes you feel loved and heard, and that's one thing that I want to improve on as we mature in this thing called marriage, this lifelong journey of marriage, is that I want to love you more in as many ways as I can, and one of the ways is by listening to you intently before responding and wanting to understand. It begins with the desire to want to understand what you're saying and what your needs are, versus me thinking I know what your needs are, what you need, and what you're trying to say. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm gonna let that marinate.
You gonna let it marinate?
I'm gonna let that marinate.
Okay.
What you get out of this 10 years? This little drop in the bucket of our courtship. That's all this is, a courtship. We decided to court shortly after we connected on eHarmony, and we have been courting each other ever since.
Yeah. I think one of the major things that I'm still working on, but have been doing throughout our marriage and constantly trying to improve upon is, and it's kind of two-pronged, but one of the things is that making every moment count, not letting it go to waste. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I don't know why it seems to be rocking the other way, but anyway, making each moment count is so imperative, because you never know what's going to come up on these special holidays that are designated for celebrating love and things like that. It's like it kind of becomes a setup for disappointment, because like for now we are in a pandemic, right? Yeah. We're in the middle of a pandemic. People are getting sick all over America. We've lost loved ones and friends and associates to this disease, and we've been trying to figure out this kind of new normal to move about life. In the midst of that, we got racism coming to a head, and people really dealing with it on a different level, and we've had a lot of thorough conversations about it, and like all of these things are happening right now, and yay, congratulations that we've been married for 10 years. But if we have not made moments count and been purposeful about celebrating our little moments where we just get to spend some time with one another. I know for me, my phone is an issue, being on my phone constantly and trying to keep up to date with news and what's going on, and kind of being so engulfed and involved in that. It's like, how much time or how many moments did I miss being able to just look into his eyes and being able to really just enjoy his presence, because we're both kind of either exhausted fatigued, and that's one thing that we foundationally always did, was to make moments count. So I think staying with that and sticking with that is imperative, right? Even though we're going through a very interesting time in life, it's imperative that we stick to what we know works for us, and that's celebrating that it's Thursday. Posting about each other just because it's like he did something cute today and I just love him for it. I want to go and ride the shopping cart in the parking lot, and hey, it's fun. I'm singing for no apparent reason, but because it's just who I am. And let's just enjoy each other being who we are, on a daily basis, so that if Valentine's Day means that we can't go to a restaurant, or we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we can't
always,
go.
In other words, we always keep our bucket full. It's
yeah.
We don't even fill it up because Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that's been kind of like the glue for us, going to doctor's appointments together, making those fun. Mm-hmm. Our last experience wasn't so fun. But anyway, but just kind of constantly just being present and showing up for one another, and understanding what the other is needing in that moment. Because you can't be everything to anyone, right? You can't replace God in anyone's life. And I think that one of the things that I know that I'm personally learning is that I can't fix it. And I know it sounds dumb, but it's like if I see you going through something, or it's like I just want to fix it. I want you to be okay, so much so that I just want to fix it. And learning that I have to take a step back, and not try to put my hands on everything, and trust God with him has been challenging, because he's my best friend, and I don't want him to be going through anything that is uncomfortable. But I know that our comfort zone is our failure zone, so I have to allow him to be uncomfortable. I have to be willing to speak up and say certain things that he may not like to hear, and that's hard. So I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay, that was good. I think the second thing I was thinking about, and it's really one of the most recent, I guess, lessons that I'm learning, is that the importance of self-love, and how I can't be so ready to sacrifice my life for your sake and then not be willing to do the same for myself. Because over time that can build resentment. And how can I fully love you if I can't love myself? As the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So even in these last 10 years, my love hasn't been what it could be had I loved myself more.
Wow.
And so just imagine what the next 10, 20 years is going to be, with me coming to the understanding and revelation of the fact that I'm important. My needs are important. And me voicing my needs, and taking the time, like we talked about last night, to ask myself deeper questions as to why I think this way or feel this way, and not just go with those initial feelings, and to analyze, do self-analyzation, and find out what it is I want. What do I want, regardless of how it may affect you. And that, obviously, taken out of balance can be detrimental to a relationship, but anything out of balance can produce detrimental results. So you can go far right, you can go far left, but our goal is to be balanced.
Yeah.
And that's something you said that I have helped you bring to the table is balance. So I think that's it. That's the key. Is just finding the balance between love for self and love for others.
The good and evil.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I'm sorry, it's a bug, and I don't I don't
You
do bugs. No. I think it's so important that, because it's, I mean, just his outfit today was a challenge. And
You know I don't do colors. Colors. I do black, blue. She is obviously rainbow. Just
What gives it away? Yeah, I have a flair for colors. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, I want you to put, usually we try to coordinate, right? We don't like to be matchy. And I was like, babe, just, I want to see you in some colors. When you put your orange shirt on, he was like, that shirt don't work. I don't. And then, the orange shirt was hard. And we like went to the blue shirt, and then the blue shirt, then it was like shorts. What you mean shorts? It just, and it was like, at first I was like, maybe I'm just being too pushy, and that still could have been the case. However, my thought was, on his quest of him trying to step outside of his comfort zone, who else to challenge him to do things that he's normally uncomfortable with? And it's like, it's not true that you don't like colors, because you do wear colors. He used to say that he couldn't stand the color red. Now you can't get him away from it. And so it's like challenging him to think about, is it because of what you think someone else thinks about what you think?
The perception of others.
Or
is that my perspective?
Right. It's like, is that really your perspective or no? Because if it is, it's cool. But it's like, and we don't always have reasons to justify why we like, or we're drawn to certain things. So I'm not requiring him to give me a reason for everything. Like, what if you don't know a reason, then you can't do that. But it's like, do you feel good? Do you feel like you look good? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel relaxed? Then what is the reason why you wouldn't, So I'm really proud of him for stepping out, and he was like, do you think I look good? I'm like, do you think you look good? And Tabitha says, very good. But I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of the person that you're becoming, and that I'm becoming. And it's funny, we were listening to Kev and Melissa, and they happen to have the same anniversary.
Same exact anniversary.
And listening to them talk about how
16 years.
What they've gone through and what they've learned in their 16 years. Was like, we were sitting there laughing and cracking up, like, wow, we just see so many similarities in some of the couples that we see today, and we're grateful for that, because we used to feel like we were an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, oh, your marriage is so different, and oh, wait till y'all get this, and wait till this happens. And it's like, we didn't experience life like that.
We began our marriage with intention, being very intentional, and that's how we have kept it. We're not gonna wait for the status quo
disaster.
And we are designing the marriage we want. Just like when we have our children, we're gonna raise our kids the way we design, not the way necessarily is traditionally maybe accepted, or like we've had discussions about discipline, and my perspective was totally different originally than it is now. I thought you just whoop it out of them. Anything they got, just whoop it out. But that don't necessarily work for all kids. Sometimes just a good is enough. When a parent can do that to a child, that might scare the Jesus in them. You know what I mean? You don't need to bring out the best. So,
and conversations.
Yeah.
Helping them understand why it's not acceptable. Yeah.
So.
And I mean, I've changed too. I had a lot of different perceptions about child rearing and stuff like that. But when you work with children, the more you work with children, you're like, man, sometimes you just gotta lay down some of the stuff that you
make them do some jumping jacks.
That you
do some squats. Give me 10 squats.
Oh gosh, yeah. But I'm grateful for our opportunity to continue to do life together.
Me too.
And
Yeah, we did a little personal little survey. I don't even know survey. In 10 years, we counted over. I don't remember the last count, but we were at least 12 to maybe 15 couples who are no longer together, and not because of detrimental circumstances, but literally they decided that they didn't want to continue
their
down
marriage.
this path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just look back at each other like, thank God.
Yeah. Not thank God that they're not together, but
that we are.
Thank God that we made it,
us,
and He's kept us. Yeah.
And we just pray this video encourages you guys to, if this is something you guys want, to pursue it, and if this is something guys you guys already have, continue to cultivate and to
work at it. Yeah.
And so it's worth it.
It is worth it.
I am so excited about being married to this woman right here.
Oh, I'm excited about being married to you too, honey
I'm
bears.
so grateful for her and for her genuineness and her authenticity. And that's what I fell in love with. She's always been her, and I've accepted her as her full self. And I'm glad she didn't fake me out. You know what I'm saying? We get into the marriage by bed, and she started taking stuff off that I didn't know wasn't hers. You know.
Don't know if her body is hers.
So, yeah.
Oh,
the Nina
gosh.
you guys see is the Nina that I see. She's not a different person.
Similar, Joseph. No, I can't say that about you.
I
was about to say just
me.
let.
I'm still learning to be my authentic self. And
yeah.
It's something I'm
coming.
I'm getting counseling for, so y'all gonna see another side of me, another angle that you guys may not have.
A little more
seen.
orange.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know about orange.
You look good in orange.
You say that about every color, so
that's not
I'm
true.
Losing.
You do not look good in certain colors.
Okay.
But I mean, you look good, but the color doesn't look good on you.
Anywho.
Anyway, yes.
Well, we love you guys.
It's been real. 10 years. Been a real 10 years.
Yeah, if y'all stuck with us throughout this whole video, y'all
real ones.
Y'all the real ones. But we're just gonna keep it real, y'all. We're not gonna try to cut it down for
censorship.
So, all right, Parkers are
out.
Peace.